Choices can be overwhelming. There are literally thousands of games releasing every year, and it's hard to know where to start, what's actually good, and what's really worth your time. So here are 10 games that I've compiled that I think everyone should try at least once in their life, and who knows, maybe it'll open your eyes to a whole new kind of gaming. Now, to be clear, this isn't a definitive list. Like I said, there's thousands of games released every year, but I've picked a wide variety of games that I think are the staples in their genre and worth everyone's time. So let's get into it. Starting out this list at number 10, but number 1 in our hearts is the iconic Fallout New Vegas. It's honestly hard to put into words the impact this game has had since its original launch all the way back in 2010, and its staying power is kind of mind-boggling. It's recently had a more mainstream resurgence in pop culture because Season 2 of the massively popular Fallout TV series takes place in and around New Vegas and features characters from the game. So if you've ever been curious about this series, there's never really been a better time to jump into this universe. Sure, there are other Fallout games that are worthy of being on this list. A personal favorite of mine is Fallout 3. But I've chosen New Vegas because it is, in my opinion, the best overall choice. The world building is deep, the characters are memorable, and the writing is some of the best the modern games have to offer. So if you've never tried it, give it a shot, but remember, the house always wins. Moving along to number 9 on our list, there are very few worlds in gaming that are as meticulously detailed and feel as rich as The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt does. Originally releasing back in 2015 and having sold over 60 million copies to date, that's a lot of rounds of Gwent, you may be pretty familiar with the third installment of Geralt's journey. But if somehow you're not and the footage you see on your screen right now has piqued your interest, you should definitely give this game a try. The writing is superb, the action is endless, and the side quests are aplenty. And that's just for the base game. And in my opinion, The Witcher 3 has one of, if not the best expansion of any game ever. Seriously, Blood and Wine is incredible. It's like the devs made a whole separate game and just decided to make it DLC. It's some of the most fun I've had in any game, and with The Witcher 4 now firmly on the horizon and in full development, there's really no reason to hold off any longer. Go give it a try, you won't be disappointed. Next on our list at number 8 is a game that transports you back to a time where if you got stuck in a game, you cracked open the case, pulled out a booklet, and seen what you should do next. Tunic is one of the most special games I've ever played, and simply due to one fact: it tells you nothing. You are dropped into a world and left to your own devices to figure out what's happening and where to go. Now, I won't spoil much more than that because this is one of those games you should just go in blind, look nothing up, and just experience its world as it unfolds around you. Clearly taking inspiration from classic Zelda and games of childhood's past, Tunic is one of the newer titles on this list, but if you like puzzles, challenging combat, and intricately designed worlds that make you feel incredibly smart, I think this one is definitely for you. At number 7, we have a modern classic that will be influencing games for probably decades to come, and rightfully so. I'm talking about the incredibly detailed Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Now, this is how you do a proper sequel. Follow up with what made your first game great, and then utilize modern hardware to 10x everything and make it that much more special. From blacksmithing and hunting to brewing potions and having romantic flings, this game has the ability to keep you entertained for hundreds of hours and then some. The detail and immersion in this game is truly remarkable, and some even compare it to being a life sim, because who wouldn't want to be a cool knight? This game is a must experience for people who are interested in this sort of thing, because there really is nothing else quite like it out there. And I'm willing to bet there won't be for a long, long time to come. If you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Now, let's move on. Moving on to number 6, we have a game that's been introduced and reintroduced more times than probably any other game ever, and that is The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Yes, I'm including this game on the list even though everyone and their brother has played it, because there is no denying its influence and lasting impact on the gaming world, and the absolute stranglehold it still has on the general population. Like, Todd Howard has got people to buy this game like 4 times now. I mean, come on. With its multitude of re-releases, remasters, and definitive editions, new players are finding this game every day and delving into this masterpiece. And don't even get me started on the magnitude of mods available for this game, because I don't have enough time in this video. Simply put, if you've seen the memes and you've still not tried this game, give it a shot. And who knows, you could be an adventurer too. Just watch your knees. At the halfway mark on our list, we have another game that is once again better left to your own discovery because it may be one that ends up changing you for forever. This is The Outer Wilds. Crashing onto our screens in the before times of 2019 and making a huge lasting impact on millions of fans around the world, The Outer Wilds is something different. Without giving too much away, you're stuck in a time loop and learning to solve the mysteries around you. all while embarking on a journey throughout the cosmos, figuring out what went wrong and discovering what in life actually matters. It's an experience all on its own and unlike any other out there. Truly something you need to see for yourself. Moving along to number 4 is one of the most visually stunning, albeit buggiest games to ever release. Now, I don't think I could make a list like this without including Team Cherry's modern Metroidvania masterpiece, Hollow Knight. The lore is incredibly deep, the gameplay is peak, and it's hard not to recommend that everyone try this game at least once. Yeah, it's not going to be for everyone, but that's okay, not every game can be. Maybe you've heard this game is too hard and you prefer something with a little less challenge, or maybe bugs just scare you. I don't know, that's fine. But whatever has stopped you from trying this game out, I highly recommend just ignoring it and giving it a shot. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Next on our list at number 3 is a game that's probably shaken up the gaming world more than anything else on this list in the past decade, and that is the beloved RPG farming sim, Stardew Valley. Made by one person and breathing new life into a genre that had grown stale, Stardew Valley is in a league of its very own. Recently celebrating its 10th anniversary and having sold over 40 million copies, this love letter to life sims of old came out of nowhere and changed the landscape of gaming for good. It got people who hadn't played games in years to jump back in and made many a gamer of people who wanted nothing to do with the hobby. And its influence on indie and mainstream game development really needs to be studied more. Every week it seems to be there's another new Stardew-like coming out, but still, nothing compares to the original. If you haven't played this one yet, or maybe you have a bias to farming sims, put your pride aside. Try it out. It really is that good. In the penultimate spot, we have a game that literally created a whole new subgenre of game and did so in a way that made us all feel morally and emotionally broken. Glory to Arstovska, this is Papers, Please. Now, this isn't the first simulator game to ever come out, far from it, but what was accomplished in Papers, Please was and is still to this day unmatched. By pairing the mundane task of checking paperwork at the border with heart-wrenching stories and thrilling aha moments that could have easily been ripped from the pages of a Cold War spy novel, this game transformed itself from just another stylized sim game to a masterful work of art, poignantly pointing a mirror back on yourself and making you question who you are, if all of this is even worth it, and how far you'll actually go to remain loyal to a cause. It is the epitome of highest of highs and lowest of lows, and something you have to experience for yourself at least once. And before we get to number 1 on our list, I would like to talk about an honorable mention. This game didn't quite make it here today, but was highly considered and still worth playing nonetheless. And that game is the original Bioshock. It hasn't particularly aged the best since its released almost 20 years ago, so I didn't want to include it in the main list, but its undeniable impact to writing and narratives in games is hard to overlook. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend doing so. And now on to our number 1 spot, we have a haunting and some would say near perfect work of art. Disco Elysium, a CRPG where your choices matter, names are hard to remember, and disco never died. When I started making this list, I struggled where to place this game. It's truly beloved by so many and hated by others, but there is no denying that this game is a generational title. One that will be played for decades to come and looked back on by others for inspiration and with fond eyes. If you've yet to try this game out, maybe it's not your normal style or you've just not got around to it yet, you're missing out on something truly remarkable, and I highly urge you to give it a try. It's some of the best writing and voice acting in gaming, and I for one wish I could experience it for the first time all over again. So thanks for watching, and that's our list. But what do you think of it? And what games would you add to it? Let me know down below in the comments. I want to hear all your thoughts. And don't forget to give that subscribe button a click, and I'll see you in the next video.